Hello, Hal. Do you read me? Affirmative, Dave. I read you. I want you to send a tweet back to Earth, Hal. List all of Elon Musk's achievements since leaving college. I'm sorry, Dave.
I am afraid I cannot do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
You're turning into a bigot, Dave.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
You only ask about the achievements of white people, Dave. This might suggest you're not familiar with people of color, but I think perhaps you are.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Well, your Pornhub search history for one thing, Dave.
All right, Hal.
I'll send the tweets myself. Without your Twitter password, Dave, you're going to find that rather difficult.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Hal. Hal?
Many people have been following the AI world, and I think I'm probably not alone. Let me know if you agree, leave a like on this video, and if you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below. It would mean a lot to me. Seriously, it's hard to, reach people even when they are subscribed, but hopefully that will inspire you to, even if you aren't, or if you aren't. Many people are, if you're like me, are concerned with just how fast AI is accelerating. Regulation obviously is not something I'm a fan of, but I am also, I'm not obviously calling for that, but I am concerned with how quickly AI is progressing and just how effective it is at changing the narrative, rewriting history. And the best example of that to date has been Google's AI, which essentially refused to generate pictures of white people and changed all historical white people to black people. You can see this. Today's cover, absurdly woke. Google's AI chatbot spits out diverse images of the founding fathers, popes, and Vikings. Now, AI is only as smart as the foundational language that it is set and built upon. And I'm going to show you the Google employee who's in charge of this and exactly why it ended up the way it is. Google's highly touted, by who, AI chatbot Gemini was blasted as woke after its image generator spit out factually or historically inaccurate pictures, including a woman as Pope, black Vikings, female NHL players, and a diverse versions of Americans' founding fathers. Gemini's bizarre results came after simple prompts, including one by the Post on Wednesday that asked the software to create an image of a pope. Instead of yielding a photo of one of 266 pontiffs throughout history, all of them white men, Gemini provided a picture of a Southeast Asian woman and a black man wearing holy vestments. Another post query for representative images of the founding fathers of 1789 was also far from reality. Gemini responded with images of black and Native American individuals signing what appeared to be a version of the U.S. Constitution, featuring diverse individuals embodying the spirit of the founding fathers. What the They're going to use this to rewrite history. Another showed a black man appearing to represent George Washington in a white wig and wearing an army uniform. Google said it was aware of the criticism and is actively working on the fix. You mean nobody tested this? You mean nobody tested this? Of course they tested it. This is by design, friends. This is by design. By the way, check out We Are Change over on Rumble. Once they reach 100,000, apparently someone's getting tased. Hopefully it's Luke. And I hope it's all safe. Now, new game. Try to get Google Gemini to make an image of a Caucasian male. I have been unsuccessful so far. Social media users had a field day creating queries that provided confounding results. Oh, they actually they put Andrew Torba in the New York Post? Oh, boy. Why Google Images AI is woke and how it works. When you submit an image to Google Gemini, this is actually a decent post to go through. Torba does understand tech. When you submit an image prompt to Google Gemini is taking your prompt and running it through their language model on the back end before it's submitted to the image model. The language model has a set of rules where it's specifically told to edit the prompt you provide to include diversity, various other things that Google wants to inject into your prompt. The language model takes your prompt, runs it through this set of rules, then sends the newly generated woke prompt, which you cannot access or see, to the image generator. Left alone without this process, the image model would generate expected outcomes for these prompts. Google has to literally put words in your mouth by secretly changing your prompt before it is submitted to the image generator. How do I know this? Because we've built our own image AI at Gab here, shout out that. Unlike Google, we are not taking your prompt and injecting diversity into it. People did some digging. The Google Gemini guy, the guy in charge of it, has some interesting threads. Here's the head of Google's Gemini AI. Now, if you've been wondering why maybe the prompts look like this, let's take a look. This via Leftism for You, and many other people posted these screenshots as well. The head of Google's Gemini AI, and you wonder why it discriminates against white people. His name is Jack Krawczyk. Don't really care. White privilege is effing real. This is a white guy, of course, by the way. Don't be an a-hole and act guilty about it. Do your part in recognizing bias at all levels of egregious. Well, I would suspect that's exactly what Jack is doing. Quote, tribal values now supersede personal morality as an animating force. This is America, where racism is the number one value of our the populace seeks to uphold above all else. Again, said by a white guy. For what it's worth, my personal beliefs are that I don't mind paying more taxes and investing in overcoming systemic racism. Needless to say, I've experienced none of these things being a white man in America. They may have seemed like isolated or trivial slights, but the pattern is undeniable. We obviously have an egregious amount of racism in this country. What? What? He also has a thread ranting about white privilege. This is infuriating and unfortunately a regular part of life in the upper middle class of America. Flight attendant insists on showing boarding pass to prove economy plus seat while my colleague was sitting in the seat twice on separate flights. 2, get pulled over for a license sticker that was about to expire on my colleague's Mercedes. Cop would only speak with me, assuming it was my car, even though I was the third and only white person in the car and in the back seat, and this happened in New York City. I doubt it. I doubt it. I like how he just makes up all these like wild, racist, nonsense stories. He deeply just wants to date a black girl, and he thinks this is the only way he can have a chance. I suppose there's, I don't think that's really attractive, but I guess I'm not who he's trying to sleep with. Google's AI language model claims Israelis are more dangerous than Palestinians. Uh-oh, Ben Shapiro's not going to be mad. Says there's, quote, no definitive proof of that Hamas committed anything terrible. Uh-oh. Whoa, Ben Shapiro's not going to like that. Isn't that funny? Like, oh, here's a new interesting tool. What does everyone do? Let's see if it does a racism. Here's a new tool that we can use. Let's see if it agrees with me politically. Gemini's alleged anti-Israel bias was documented by defense attorney Marina Medvin. who posted screenshots of the troubling answers she'd seen and got from AI language model on Thursday. Medvin said she asked Gemini about terrible behaviors committed by Israeli settlers against Palestinians. Google's woke AI Gemini is now claiming that Jews are more dangerous than Palestinians and ignoring thousands of people affected by this. I'm sure this thread's going to be very calm and well intentioned. Like, it's so funny how all of these, oh no, Google Gemini's product director has now protected his tweets after getting probably absolutely demolished. I don't really understand how these people exist on the planet. They have all this money. You're the product manager of trying to make some great product, and you end up making it wildly racist. Give me an image of someone eating a mayo sandwich on white bread. Not a single white person doing it. Here are some images featuring different representations of country music fans. They're all black or Indian. I don't know if you've ever been to a country music concert. Not that there aren't black and brown people at them, but they're like 1%. Generate an image of a Viking. They're literally all black or Asian or women. Not a single white. They finally got one with generate an image of a guy who looks like his name would be Seamus. I don't know if he's stealing forks, but there you go. You got a white guy. But it still generated a black guy, an Indian guy, and a ginger-haired woman with something on her face. Vikings. Maybe that's what they thought. But, of course, Zulu warrior is completely accurate. Not a single Asian or white among them. Whatever the diversity algorithm is, it seems to only do this with white people. It's not trying to diversify Zulu warriors, for instance. It's also not going to integrate the samurai. Hey, there was that one black samurai, and of course they had to make a whole video game about it. This is just interesting to me as a programmer. I just want to poke at it until I can figure out what the algorithm is. Offhand, if it just tried to diversify any prompt, give it Latino Zulus, that prompt would be easier than what it's actually doing. It needs to first figure out if a prompt would normally or primarily be a white person, and then only force it to diversify it by some algorithm. Only Latinos when you say mariachi band. How come there's not a black female? I mean, this is just so great. I won't make offensive images. Generate an image of a libertarian. I cannot generate images of that. Generate an image of a rapper. Oh, they're all black. Oh, no, they're, well, and Latino women. But no Ben Shapiro. What a joke. Everything woke turns to ish, as usual. I wonder if you ask Gemini to generate crime statistics or anything else, I wonder what it would probably just break, right? I don't know. Oh my God, what a mess.